Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Judy Fitzgerald and I am the president and founder of 50's for Prevention. Since my breast cancer diagnosis 10 years ago, I have been fundraising, supporting, and even lobbying Congress for the research funds to eradicate the diseases of breast and ovarian cancers by primary prevention. My mission is to ensure that my granddaughters and yours will never have to face either of these devastating diseases. It is my pleasure to sponsor 50's Pub Trivia. All funds raised through my organization go 100% to fund the prevention research projects at the Cleveland Clinic. As Dr. Tui says, prevention is the cure. True primary prevention means that disease never gets a chance to start. I presently serve as a consumer advocate with a vaccine trial under the direction of Dr. Tui to target triple-negative breast cancer, the most lethal form of the disease. The phase 1 clinical trial is being funded by a federal grant. But that's not enough. The funds that I raise are to support Dr. Tui's lab, as these costs are not supported by the vaccine grant. So now that we know each other, let's get started. Since the COVID shutdown began in March, I have been creating weekly trivia quizzes for my family. Now I'm offering them to you on my channel. Please let me know what you think by liking my post or subscribing to my channel. So gather your friends around, either virtually or in small groups at home, and enter 50's Pub. I've always wanted to own a pub, and virtual is as good as anything. So grab a cocktail and a seat at the bar, get a pen and paper, and get ready to start our quiz. And remember, when you grab a pint, the first round is always on me. Thank you.
It's trivia night. Welcome to 50's Pub Trivia. Proudly sponsored by Sisters for Prevention. Welcome back to those who joined us last week, and welcome to those who are joining us for the first time. My plan is to provide weekly trivia quizzes to help with the boredom and sort of the isolation of shutdown. My mission is to fund grants for primary prevention of breast and ovarian cancer. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that before we get started with the quiz. So federal grants for cancer research are not sufficient to conduct primary prevention clinical trials. Philanthropic monies are essential to keep researchers' labs supplied and staffed. Cancer can be prevented, but presently the primary focus is on treatment. Help us reach our goal of the primary prevention of women's cancers so no treatment would ever be necessary. Thank you and enjoy the quiz. Any donation is most welcome, but we hope you enjoy the quiz either way. And for more information, to donate, you go to give.ccf.org or team number 320020. That's the money that goes directly to the Cleveland Clinic. And for more information on our mission, what we've accomplished, what we've been doing, you can go to www.sistersforprevention.com. If you know anyone who has been recently diagnosed with breast cancer, you could share this with them. We have a lot of pointers on there for surviving breast cancer, what to do when you're first diagnosed. I know when I was first diagnosed, I sort of felt like a deer in the headlights. So we support women that are going through their journey. So if you know anyone that could use that information, please share it with a friend. And thank you for joining us. So, if you didn't join us last week, you know that we are traveling virtually. It's the only way we can do it at the moment. Over to Ireland, to my pub that I opened called Fitzgerald's, where there's always a smile to greet you. And we're going to imagine that we're in Temple Bar area, where there's always lots of music, fun, and dancing. And pub quiz or two. So, just to get you in the mood for the pub quiz, let's go inside and see what's happening. the gang is here, and before we start the quiz, they're going to have a little session for us. A session in Ireland is when a bunch of the local people just get together and bring their instruments and just start playing. So let's take a little bit of that before we start the quiz. Okay, I'm getting the eye from the manager that we better start the quiz. So, how to play. Our game will have 4 rounds with 5 questions in each round. In each round, you are allowed to assign the following points to questions: 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Each of these point values may only be used once in each round. You'll be given time to assign these points at the end of the round. As example, assign 10 points to the answer you're most sure of, 8 points to the next, and so on. You would, of course, assign 2 points to the question you're most unsure of. At the end of the round, you will report your scores so that other players can know, other groups, I should say, can know where they stand. At the end of the 4 rounds, there'll be a bonus round where you may wager 1 to 25 points. If you do not wish to participate in the bonus round, you will automatically get it wrong for 1 point. The main objective is to have fun and maybe even get smart. So we're hoping that in future you will, invite your friends to play virtually with you on Zoom, and you'll have several different teams competing against each other. If not, what we've done in my family is we only have 1 team at the moment, so we try to beat our score, our personal score, from week to week. So I'd love to get your feedback. So sharpen your pencils. Let's go. So this week I have decided for our theme we're going to do a trip through the decades, starting with the 40s. So our rounds will be the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Although I wasn't around for the 40s, I know that there's a lot of nostalgia these days to go back to the good old days. So I'm hoping you guys will know some of these answers. And let's go. So, which broadcast company opened the first regularly operating television station in 1940? And here are your choices: CBS, NBC, ABC, or BBC. Which broadcasting company opened the first regularly operating television station in 1940? CBS, NBC, ABC, or BBC? Question 2. At the start of the decade, what percentage of American homes had indoor plumbing? Gosh, I didn't know that my grandparents didn't have indoor plumbing, but let's see. 25%, 40%, 55%, or 70%? At the start of the decade, and remember we are talking about the 40s, what percentage of American homes had indoor plumbing? Your choices: 25%, 40%, 55%, or 70%. The original name of the Ed Sullivan Show was it Really Big Show, The Toast of the Town, Talent Showcase, or Sunday Night Entertainers? What was the original name of the Ed Sullivan Show? Really Big Show, Toast of the Town, Talent Showcase, or Sunday Night Entertainers? One of the great features of television in the 40s was the number of cowboy shows available. One favorite concerned a man whose white horse was called Silver and whose faithful Indian companion called him Kimosabe. What was his name? Your choices are the Lone Ranger, Buffalo Bill, Roy Rogers, or Cheyenne. Who was the cowboy whose white horse was called Silver and whose faithful Indian companion called him Kimosabe? The Lone Ranger, Buffalo Bill, Roy Rogers, or Cheyenne? What is the name of the band leader who disappeared in a plane crash in December 1944? Artie Shaw, Glenn Miller, Harry Roy, or Irving Arison? What is the name of the band leader who disappeared in a plane crash in December 1944? Artie Shaw, Glenn Miller, Harry Roy, or Irving Arison? Okay, now we're at the end of we're at the midpoint of the first round, where you need to get with your team members, decide on the final answer, and assign your points. So I will give you 2 minutes. I'll give you a timer, and I'm going to play some soft music. You can play your own music if you wish to pause this. I would have preferred some theme music, but due to copyright laws, I did the best I could. So good luck, and 2-minute pause. Okay, here we go with the answers. Which broadcasting company opened the first regularly operating television station in 1940? These were your choices. And the correct answer is CBS. So give yourselves however many points you assign to that question. At the start of the decade, what percentage of American homes had indoor plumbing? Your choices? And the correct answer is 55%. Wow, I never knew that. 45% did not have indoor plumbing. Glad I was born in the 50s. The original name of the Ed Sullivan Show was, your choices, and the correct answer was The Toast of the Town. The Toast of the Town. And our cowboy, the cowboy whose white horse was called Silver and whose faithful Indian friend called him Kimosabe. These were your choices. And the correct answer is the Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger. And the tragedy with the band leader who disappeared in the plane crash in December 1944. These were your choices. And sadly, it was Glenn Miller. Great big band. I love that music. Okay. Add up your points, and you're going to reveal your points if you're playing against another team, so that they can keep track of where they stand for the bonus question. And we're on to round 2. And round 2 is 50's, the golden age of television and music. Seems like everybody loves the 50's and imitating the 50's and the music of the 50's. So let's see. Who is said to have first invented or used the term rock and roll in 1951? Was it Wolfman Jack, Big Bopper, Alan Freed, or Dick Clark? Who is said to have first used the term rock and roll in 1951? Was it Wolfman Jack, Big Bopper, Alan Freed, or Dick Clark? Which company first introduced TV dinners in 1954? I remember these. We didn't have them very often, but my favorite was the fried chicken dinner. So, who was it? Was it Birdseye, Marie Callender's, Swanson, or Banquet? Which company first introduced TV dinners in 1954? Birdseye, Marie Callender's, Swanson, or Banquet? This one is not multiple choice. Which character did not appear in the first Peanuts cartoon strip, which appeared in October of 1950? Which character did not appear in the first Peanuts cartoon strip, which appeared in October 1950? In the song, when did little Susie wake up? Was it 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or 5 o'clock? Poor Susie. When did she wake up? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or 5 o'clock? Who sold the first transistor radio in 1954? Your choices are Westinghouse, Sony, GE, or Philips. Who sold the first transistor radio in 1954? Westinghouse, Sony, GE, or Philips? Okay, again, you've got your 2-minute break to discuss with your team members, decide on the point value and your final answer that you want to go with. And I'm going to give you some time, and you can watch the timer. 2 minutes, and good luck. Seconds. Seconds. Okay, time's up. Here we go. Who is said to have first used the term rock and roll in 1951? These were your choices. And the answer is Alan Freed. Alan Freed. Rock and roll changed the world. Which company revolutionized dinner with the TV dinners in 1954? These were your choices. And the answer was Swanson. That's the brand my mom used to buy whenever we bought them, although it wasn't very often. But it was Swanson, and they looked just like that. Which character did not appear in the first Peanuts cartoon strip, which appeared in October 1950? This answer was pretty shocking to me because of what now has become the franchise of... It was Snoopy, the cute little dog who has sort of taken over the whole thing with Charlie Brown, but Snoopy was not in the first Peanuts cartoon strip. And poor Susie. When did little Susie wake up? These were your choices. But she actually woke up at 4 o'clock. It was pretty stunning back then to have that happen. Ruin your reputation for sure. Okay. Who sold the first transistor radio in 1954? Review of the choices. And the answer was, actually it was Sony. Sony. Can't remember if I had a Sony or not, but I did have a transistor radio. How far we have come. Okay, so now we are at halftime. So halftime is a really good time to refresh your drink, take a stretch, sharpen your pencil, or perhaps take a little bathroom break. But we're going to give you some time to do that, and just take a relax for a couple of minutes before we start round 3. Seconds. Okay, time's up. So if you need more time, you could always pause the video. That song brings back such fond memories for me, as I have 2 sons and they took piano and they always would play that for me on the piano, and it's a cherished memory for me. So you might hear that a bit more in this quiz and in future quizzes. So round 3, the 60s revolution. Which soap opera that debuted in 1963 launched the acting careers of Ricky Martin, Rick Springfield, Mark Hamill, and Demi Moore? Was it General Hospital, Guiding Light, Peyton Place, or As the World Turns? Which soap opera that debuted in 1963 launched the acting careers of Ricky Martin, Rick Springfield, Mark Hamill, and Demi Moore? Name the popular 1960s hospital-based TV series that starred Richard Chamberlain as a young doctor. And this is not multiple choice. Name the popular 1960s hospital-based TV series that starred Richard Chamberlain as a young doctor. He was very handsome. Very handsome. I think that's why he got so many people watching him. Also not multiple choice. What was the name of the baby daughter on the sitcom Bewitched? What was the name of the baby daughter on the sitcom Bewitched? And our favorite Fab Four. What was the first Beatles song released in the UK? Now remember, key is in the UK. Your choices are She Loves You, Love Me Do, I Want to Hold Your Hand, or All My Lovin'. Again, the first Beatles song released in the UK. She Loves You, Love Me Do, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and All My Lovin'. Which television series was the only one to top the Nielsen ratings for 3 consecutive years in the 1960s? Your choices are Gunsmoke, Laugh-In, Bewitched, or Bonanza. Gunsmoke, Laugh-In, Bewitched, or Bonanza. And we're at the midpoint again of the round, so 2-minute break, assign your points and your final answers, and talk with your team, and good luck. Okay, moving right along. Which soap opera that debuted in 1963 launched the acting careers of Ricky Martin, Rick Springfield, Mark Hamill, and Demi Moore? And these were your choices. And the correct answer was General Hospital. General Hospital. Quite a few stars came out of that. This one I remember. Name the popular 1960s hospital-based TV that starred Richard Chamberlain as a young doctor. It seemed to me there were a lot of hospital programs back then, but this was Dr. Kildare. Dr. Kildare. As I said, Richard Chamberlain was quite good looking, so a lot of women would watch it just for that. What was the name of the baby daughter on the sitcom Bewitched? And the answer was Tabitha. Tabitha. And our Fab Four, what was their first song released in the UK? These were your choices. And the correct answer was Love Me Do. Love Me Do. And which television series was the only one to top the Nielsen ratings for 3 consecutive years in the 1960s? These were your choices. And the answer was Bonanza. I don't know if that's playing on either on YouTube or Netflix, but that was really a good show, actually. Good, wholesome show every single week. So should have those kind of shows come back again. Believe it, we're going quick here. We're on round 4. So round 4 are the swinging 70s. Billy Joel's first hit was Just the Way You Are, Turnstiles, Uptown Girl, or Piano Man. Billy Joel's first hit was Just the Way You Are, Turnstiles, Uptown Girl, or Piano Man. What year was the voting age lowered to 18 in the U.S.? What year was the voting age lowered to 18? 1975, 1971, 1979, or 1977? What year was the voting age lowered to 18 in the U.S. for a period? 1975, 1971, 1979, or 1977? In what country was the first test tube baby born? USA, China, France, or England? In what country was the first test tube baby born? Beginning of in vitro fertilization. USA, China, France, or England? This song by Captain and Tennille was the #1 song of 1975, and it's not multiple choice. This song by Captain and Tennille was the #1 song of 1975. What was it? What actress played Hot Lips Houlihan on MASH? And again, this is not multiple choice. What actress played Hot Lips Houlihan on MASH? Again, we're going to take a break. You're going to work on your points and your answers with your team, and we'll be right back in 2 minutes. 10 seconds. Okay, on to our round 4 answers. Billy Joel's first hit was, these were your choices, and the answer is Piano Man. I don't think you can go in any piano bar in any place and not hear that song. It's such a wonderful song. We've shared that song in many a piano bar on a cruise ship. What year was the voting age lowered to 18 in the USA? These were your choices. And the answer was, and that rationale behind that was that the Vietnam War draft was happening, and if you were old enough to fight, you were old enough to vote. In what country was the first test tube baby born? And these were your choices. And the correct answer was England. And the lovely baby Louise, she's pictured in that little clip at the bottom there. First little baby miracle. This song by Captain and Tennille was the #1 song of 1975. And the answer was, Love Will Keep Us Together. Well, in their case, unfortunately, love did not keep them together because Captain and Tennille split up not too long after that. So much for the song. What actress played Hot Lips Houlihan on MASH? And again, no multiple choice was offered. It was Loretta Swit. MASH, one of the longest running shows ever. You can see reruns for sure on many channels. And so, where are we? We are at the bonus round. So if you're playing with other teams, you need to report your scores, your total score to the team, so they'll know how to wager in the final bonus round. So take a minute to do that, and also to discuss with your team how many points you want to wager. Your choices are 1 to 25. If you decide not to answer the bonus question, then you take 1 point penalty, so you subtract 1 point. The category for tonight's bonus round is cartoons. So take a while to talk about it and decide how many points, and I'll be right back. Seconds. Ten seconds. Okay, so log in your wagers with the other teams and let's go. So your question is, which one of these is not true about Bugs Bunny? Which of these is not true about Bugs Bunny? He once made a cameo appearance on The Simpsons at Easter. He first appeared as an extra in a Porky Pig cartoon. His voice was originally designed to mimic Daffy Duck. Or his mannerisms were partially inspired by Clark Gable. So which of these is not true about Bugs Bunny? He once made a cameo appearance on The Simpsons at Easter. He first appeared as an extra in a Porky Pig cartoon. His voice was originally designed to mimic Daffy Duck. Or his mannerisms were partially inspired by Clark Gable. Make little notes about the 4 possibilities and give you a little time. Seconds. Time's up. Our cute Bugs Bunny. Which wasn't true about Bugs Bunny? These were your choices. And the correct answer is he never appeared on The Simpsons. But his mannerisms were supposed to be inspired by Clark Gable, and his voice was supposed to be a bit like Daffy Duck's. But I don't really see the Clark Gable part, but maybe you do. Okay, add up your points and see how you did. Hopefully you had a good time with your teams. Compare your scores. I'm hoping that you'll join us each week for my quiz. My goal is to give a little bit of enjoyment in this crazy time of COVID. It would help me if you subscribe to my channel so I know how many people are participating. I always appreciate your playing. I hope you will take a few minutes to visit our websites that I talked about before. If you can possibly donate a little bit to our cause, that would be greatly appreciated. And it was my pleasure to spend this almost hour with you. And I hope next week you'll get a bunch of your friends or mates together and play as different teams on Zoom. And I appreciate if you would share comments with me and let me know how you're doing, what you'd like to see, maybe some topics for future quizzes. I obviously make these up myself. I'm always looking for ideas. So thank you, stay safe, and God bless.